What's good? All right. Another week of this boxing talk. What's cracking? All right, let me wait for this thing to pop up so I know that I've got sound. This is taking a minute. Shit is running real. There it goes. All right, let me wait for this thing to pop up so I know that I've got it. All right, so here we are. All right. Really looking forward to this conversation. A bunch of good stuff going on in the boxing world. Jaron Ennis being one of them for sure. Geeked up about it. Jaron Ennis. And then we're going to talk about things like Crawford. We're going to talk about Jermell Charlo, Jason Rosario. We're going to talk about Adrian Broner. We're going to talk about any other little things that probably shouldn't be talked about. I don't want to get into certain issues too much because, right about this point in time, it's a little bit beneath me. So I do not expect people to understand things that just you do not have the education to or the experience to understand. And that's where those things must just be. You know what I mean? This is boxing. Everybody can catch on to boxing real quick. There's some other things where you really do have to have experience. You really do have to have exposure. You have to have explanations given to you and all those good type of things. It takes, you know what I mean? So we might talk a little bit about that today. But anyway, B-Ham says, Ennis is hard. He'll probably start receiving the arrow spins treatment. Duck, duck, goose. Man, I know none of those guys are going to want to fight him anytime soon. Yeah, he's a real tough dude in like the 7th spot. He's a real tough dude in the 7th spot. You're right. Well, I don't think you can get Errol Spence Jr. ducking him because he's got to get himself in championship contention for that. Or and that goes for Manny Pacquiao, goes for Terence Crawford as well. He's got to get himself into contention, and that's going to take him fighting some more fights. You know what I mean? I wouldn't start off right now saying people are ducking Jaron Ennis because he does have to get himself up. He does have to get himself up in the rankings. And that's just a fact that's just a fact. You know what I mean? Thomas Moreland, salute to you, sir. What's good with you, man? Andrew Frazier said Ennis has to fight a mid-major name immediately. I wonder who's going to take a step up fight first out of him and Virgil Ortiz. Well, I think that I kind of look at that as a step up fight. I think that I looked at that fight for Jaron Ennis as a bit of a step up fight, man. That was a tough competitor, dude. That guy was coming to fight. He wasn't completely unheard of, even though I can't remember his name right now. But, he was a good, solid fighter. I think that was a step-up fight for Jaron Ennis. And the way that he got him out of there, dude, was just terrific, man. He was leaps and bounds better than that guy, man. And I thought that's a decent level of competition. I think that's a solid competition. And the thing about it is that, the fight for me puts Jaron Ennis up there with all the other young contenders, and some champions and some young champions, right? But he puts them right in the mix with those guys that we talk about a lot. The Devin Haney's, Timo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, definitely, Virgil Ortiz. That win, it wakes people up, man, because that was very, very skillful, man. He's very, very skillful. That knockout, the way that he slipped that uppercut, slipped that right hand and counter with that uppercut. Oh man, dude, it was beautiful. It was tight. It was, man, his hand speed is excellent. I like the fact that he can fight on the outside and he can fight in the inside. I mean, really, dog, he's better than people like Caleb Plant. He's better than Caleb Plant, man. He's better than Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, as far as like the talent and the things that I see from Caleb Plant, like I like Caleb Plant's like his eyesight, his vision, his footwork, right? His hand speed. There's a lot of things that I really like about Caleb Plant. They remind me in some ways of Jaron Ennis. But dog, Jaron Ennis just got so much more. He just got more pop on the inside. He fights. He's better on the inside. But obviously, we got to see him up there against a guy like Uskatagi, because Uskatagi, Caleb Plant showed something against Jose Uskatagi, or however you pronounce his name. Excuse me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about this. I messed something up. Hold on 1 second. All right, there you go. Sorry about that. So yeah, I forgot my little thing. I'm allergic to dogs, and my dogs have been in my office, so I need my little need my little rag every once in a while. So yeah, man. I mean, I think Jaron Ennis is right there with those guys, man. I really do. I think that I think he's right there with as soon as he's just such a super talent. It's not just that he's like his technique is extremely tight. It's extreme. His defense is extremely tight. His offense is extremely tight, extremely powerful, inside, outside. I just think this dude could have he could really be that dude, man. He could really, really be that dude. And in a couple years, dog, he's got all the talent in the world to dominate the 147-pound division, man. He looks like he has what it takes to go all the way up to 160 and dog people out all the way up to 160. If he has a chin and if he's real tough, dog, I mean, just the sky's the limit for him, man. And I've been saying that for a while, because he's not just an outside fighter. It's not just that he's a slick fighter. Dude's got pop. And he's got excellent defense. I mean, a guy with excellent speed, excellent length, excellent hand speed, excellent defense, goes from offense to defense very quickly. Very elusive. It's tough, man. And I don't see anybody out there, dog, in his age range that's going to mess with that dude, man. I think Virgil Ortiz gets that hat handed to him. Like really, really bad. You know what I mean? Nah, that's the special dude. That dude looks kind of special to me. Just being real. He looks, first time I saw him, I was like, yeah, okay, he's good. Now, he seems to me to be kind of like Shakur Stevenson. When I first saw Shakur Stevenson, I was like, yeah, Shakur Stevenson is really like that. I can see that what people are saying, but I couldn't see it all the way, where they were people that were really praising him. Then I started watching, saw more fights. He put on a little weight. And now I'm like, okay, Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, he's nice like that. That's why I want to see those Russell brothers. I want to see those guys, those other Russells that they're saying is nice like that. Because Gary Russell Jr. is nice like that. At Philadelphia, man, them dudes Philadelphia can fight, man. Philadelphia can fight. Very well. And chances are he's extremely well schooled, and he's fought a lot of tough competition being from Philadelphia. So it's not like he's from somewhere where you just don't know, what kind of product they put out on a consistent basis. Yeah, Jaron Ennis is like that, man. But get to somebody that is like man, if he could get his hand on Chris Algieri is probably still at 140 though. He could get his hands on a Jesse Vargas wouldn't fight him. But if he could get his hands on Jesse Vargas and lay out Jesse Vargas, just lay out Jesse Vargas, or maybe an Adrian Granados, get in there with Adrian Granados and thump up Adrian Granados. Yeah, then because he's going to put Adrian Granados to rest. He's going to put Adrian Granados to sleep. But that would be a good fight. That's a good, tough fighter that's been in there and given tough fights to, Granados gave a really tough fight to Sean Porter. Granados gave a good fight to who else did he fight? Did Granados fight Danny Garcia? I know he fought Adrian Broner. I know he beat Amir Imam. That could be a good fight for him. He could go in there with an Adrian Granados or something like that. I think that would be, might as well get to it because, dude, the only thing, fighting lower tier competition right now is going to be like, nah, you need to get that dude right now. And he's got like 26 fights too. So they have been bringing him along slowly, even though he's so young, even though he's that young. Yeah, man, that dude looks excellent, man. What's going on? Eclectic agitator in the building says, shout out to good logic and understanding. We try to do that. We push for the logic. We push for the logical. Okay, we really do. Sometimes it gets us in trouble. Sometimes people don't like it. But sometimes you got to resist the temptation. You got to resist the temptation. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? What's going on, Clarence McLean? I'm all good, man. David Williams in the building. Salute to you. Said the reason why I came back, became a member of your channel is that you don't back down and just tell it like it is, point blank, period. Hey, man, I try my best, man. I try my best. So let's try to move this down. I think I said what's up to everybody in the chat and all that. Let's move this down a little bit. Try to keep up this going. Yeah, Granados fought Danny and got KO'd. Yeah, but I'm saying it's a good fight. Yeah, he fought Danny Garcia. So, yeah, that's a good fight. That's a good fight for him because it's somebody he should beat, but somebody that's going to show him some things and is going to be in there and try to fight, man. So I like that. I like that for Jaron Ennis. But them dudes that if he can stay at 147, he's gonna get ducked. Like oh my God, man! Like Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, dog, they ain't gonna try to fight no Jaron Ennis, dog. But like, you know what I mean? Y'all better hope he just got like a plastic chin. You better hope he got a glass jaw. He better have something like on his chin or something causing a problem, dog, because he's gonna mop. He'll mop Josh Taylor. What's going on, E. Flim? I'm chilling, man. He will mop Josh Taylor. Mop him. You know what I'm saying? Mop him. Mop him. Jose Ramirez mops him. I think he mops him. But maybe like a year for Jose Ramirez. Maybe like a year. Give it a minute. Give it a little bit for Jose Ramirez. Flabby Chin said Virgil is overhyped. No, I don't think so. I think he deserves his credit. I think Virgil Ortiz definitely deserves his credit. You know what I mean? I think Virgil Ortiz deserves his credit. I just don't think he's a Jaron Ennis. I just don't think he's a Jaron Ennis. I think there's too many wrinkles in that. I think there's too many wrinkles in that bed sheet, man. There's too much. There's too many problems, too many wrinkles in that bed sheet. It's gonna be a world of trouble for him, dog. It's gonna be a world of trouble for him. Floyd won't fight Ennis. He's too long. Yeah, I mean, Floyd's just retired, man. Floyd Mayweather, come on, man. We ain't gonna talk about Floyd, whether or not Floyd Mayweather Jr. is gonna fight him or not, man. Come on, we can't do that. We can't do that. Yeah, but Ennis is a different level. I think Ennis is a different level than him, man. But Crawford, when you guys start talking about Terence Crawford, that's where I'm like, dude, you guys got to pump your brakes on Ennis with what's going on, Mr. Team Texas salute. Let me check on something real quick. See if the Great Trill Boxing Talk is still on and cracking. Yes, it is still on and cracking. So I will just hold up just a little bit before we get all the way into it, like all the way to it. He has a good job, but you can definitely use his power against him. Who are you talking about? Jaron Ennis? Yeah, I mean, the thing that I see with Jaron is that Jaron, it's there. Like you can see his chin. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see his chin. It's not in like an overly, there is some relying upon defense and size to allow him reflexes and size to allow him to fight that way. But for right now, he looks more than fast enough to fight in that fashion. And it looks real with him, dude. Like that roll, like that shoulder roll, you could consider what he did, to be a bit of a shoulder roll, right? Because it was like he got into the shell. He was in that shell. He bumped that. He caught that. What was it? He caught that right hand on his shoulder, caught it on his shoulder, bumped it up. Bow. Dog, you could say that's Floyd, but that dude's from Philadelphia. Since he's from Philadelphia, that ain't Floyd, that's Philadelphia. And shit, that's a fucking sweet ass move. That was a sweet, sweet, sweet move. And I have to believe he's got more sweet moves up his sleeves, dog. I think that boy got that natural. I don't think that's taught. I don't think he's like emulate Floyd when he did that. I think that is just ingrained in him. Yeah, I know the Philly shell, but dude, that shit came off natural. It didn't come off like, it wasn't like no disrespect to Andre Berto, but it wasn't like he was dipping and dabbing in it. You know what I mean? It was just like, boop, let me caught that punch. Oh, God, whap. Oh, dog, better than the uppercut was how he caught that shot with his shoulder. That shit was Sam Langford like, boop, just caught it right there. Boom. Man. He said, not like AB. No. Fannon, I told you, Boots the new sheriff, bro. Yeah, hey. I want to be on that bandwagon, dog. Let me tell you, I got a reserve ticket on that bandwagon. I've already put my money down on that bandwagon, okay? I'm on the bandwagon. The only thing I'm saying is let's not take the bandwagon somewhere it's not supposed to go, okay? Let's not go there too quickly, okay? Let's walk down the hill and fuck them all, okay? Let's do that, okay? You all know the story of the young bull and the old bull. Old bull, young bull on the top of the hill. And the young bull looks down the hill, looks at all the cows and said, gets all heated. Hey, I'm about to go fuck me a cow. So he started trying to dash down, and the old bull says, slow up. Let's walk down the hill and fuck them all. Right? So no need to startle them, just handle it like that. That's so, no need to jump 26 bums, dog. Yeah, slow your roll, dog. Slow your roll. Let's ease into this. Okay, let's just thump this dude up, thump that dude up, thump this, stay active, thump this dude up, thump that dude up, thump this dude up, thump that dude up, thump a dude that fights like that dude, and thump a dude that looks like that way. Make sure your shit is all the way there. Like you just are like, oh Lord, I'm just like these dudes just garbage in my eyes. And then just wow. Run through him, dog. See, because Ennis could pull something kind of slick. Ennis could pull something slick if he got the, y'all just need to pub him up, man. Y'all need to pub him up, dog. Y'all need to just pub that man up. Give that man his credit. He was the whole fucking boxing weekend, in my opinion. He was the whole weekend. Lubin, okay. Lubin won against a higher level opposition. Lubin won, and Lubin's chin definitely got exposed Saturday night. Yeah, he did get clipped, didn't he? He did get clipped. He got clipped. Lubin did get clipped. But you already know Lubin can go night-night. Night-night, some night-night dog. Some cats got the NyQuil. You know what I mean? Some people got that NyQuil. They susceptible to it. You know what I'm saying? They got that apnea. They got that punch apnea. All of a sudden, lights go out. That's J-Rock. That's everybody, dude. It ain't coincidental when you get knocked completely unconscious like that, dog. That's something to get laid out like that. He got some chin. He got a chin problem, man. He get hit on the top of the head, dog. Look. I done seen the boy get knocked out, so y'all can't. I done seen him laid out. I saw J-Rock laid out twice, okay? I've seen it. I've seen Lennox Lewis laid out twice. I've seen Vladimir Klitschko laid out twice. I've seen Tony Harrison laid out. I've seen Tony Harrison laid out. Some of them just got that, got that apnea. It's just what it is. And so there you go. Lubin's just got that, dog. You just always got to wonder about that. Like you not. And matter of fact, Jason Rosario got that knock juice. He took the nasty plunge before. So it ain't. Hey, if one of these dudes going to knock out the other dude, that's why I'm thinking much more likely that I'm riding with Jermell Charlo, dude. You know what I mean? Said S. Dean said Lubin didn't get clipped. He got rocked, but he rocked Gaucher as well. All in the 155-pound, the hit tough division. Yeah, it's tough. That's a big, strong. That's the division. But I've not seen Jermell get woozy. I haven't seen the woo out of him. I never saw Winky Wright get laid out. I never seen Winky Wright go night. You know, I've just not seen Jermell get nighted before. I've seen him hit, but I ain't seen him nighted. I've seen him take that shit, and keep on firing. You know, and keep on firing. Said I agree on Canelo's chin. Oh, that's not on me. What's going on, Katherine Johnson? How you feeling today? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Canelo last 2 fights for suspect. Yeah, okay, that's not for me, man. All right, so cool. Yeah, but not Crawford right now, man. That's way too much, man. It isn't that hard to knock people out. Anybody can be slept. Look, hey, dark truth. Here's the dark truth. Some people are a little easier to get put to sleep than others. Okay? I have seen people get hit flush, boom, and they can eat it if they see it. There's other people, dude, if you touch that chin, they gone. Amir Khan, if you touch that chin, he's gone. Like, it's just a known thing. As Glass Joe, he's going to go for sure. Without a doubt, he's going to go. Boots needs to only fight main event. Yeah, I'm kind of with that on Boots, man. David Williams, much love in that super chat, man. Thank you so much for the support. Fannon, who do you think has the best chin in boxing? GGG, that's a very good chin. He damn sure has one. That's a very good one. Best chin in boxing? You be having to get your head swiveled for me to know. That's kind of tough. Most of the best boxers try to stay out of the category of having the best chin. You know what I'm saying? They try to stay away from the designation of having the best chin because that means your ass got whapped. However, if I had to say who has the best chins, Danny Garcia got a nice ass chin. In the welterweight division, Danny Garcia got a nice chin. I've seen his ass get pelted. Boom! And he stood there and took it. Think Danny Garcia has got a really good chin. Mikey Garcia got a really good chin the way he got his ass whooped by Errol Spence Jr. Lord have mercy. He has to have a chin. He has to have a chin. There is no way that you do not get honorary chin out of Mikey Garcia. Because Mikey Garcia, man, he took a lot of shots, dog. Now, Vasily Lomachenko was clowning him, and justifiably so. Man, I like Vasily Lomachenko, man. I like Vasily Lomachenko a lot. I like him a lot. Pulev gonna go to sleep, dog. Pulev gonna go to sleep, dog. Pulev go night-night. Pulev go night-night. Deontay Wilder hit that boy. That boy going night-night. That boy going snoozy town. Snoozy town. Jose Uzcategui has the best chin in boxing. Uzcategui? Didn't he get dropped by Caleb Plant? Yak. I don't know. Uzcategui gets wobbled, dog. I've seen Uzcategui been stopped before. If he ain't been stopped, I know he's been dropped by multiple people, dog. Uzcategui, yeah. Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd. I'm sorry. I apologize to Jared Hurd for not getting to that right away. Jared Hurd has the best chin in boxing, dog. Jared Hurd. Because nobody takes that many shots to the grill and keeps coming from the likes of the fighters that he has taken flush shots from and kept walking forward. It is without a doubt Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd has the best chin in boxing. Jared Hurd. I don't know. It's so damn good. It got him unified. It got him a unified title. His chin won them belts. Because anybody else, dog, Lord. Yeah, Laura popped him. Oh, popped the shit out of him. But he kept on coming. And he got that knockdown. Bow. Hurd got a motherfucking chin. That dude got a double, triple chin. Double, triple chin on Jarron Hurd. Golovkin slips punches more than Jarron. You got to understand, Jarron Hurd be taking like 3-piece combos to the grill. Boom, boom, boom. He be taking like from dudes that can drop, from dudes that can crack. Man, Lara can crack. If you let Lara just sit down on a shot on you, dude, Lara can crack, dog. Gennady Golovkin at least uses defense. He'll slip here, he'll slip there, he'll block, he'll parry. Not Jarron Hurd, dog. Yeah, he dropped him. Okay, still, I don't care. That's after years of abuse. Man, much love in that super chat. Stay Ready Boxing TV said, agreed, Jarron Hurd has the best chin. Rocky defense. Terrible defense, dog. Yes, sir. Yeah, Hurd said, Matthew. Oh, this is some shit about this school. That's not for me, brother. That is not for me. Let me turn this off. B-Hop ain't fighting no more, dog. We ain't talking like the best in history. We just talking about now. B-Ham in the building. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you for your support, man. Yes, sir. So yeah, man, no doubt about it, man. That's one of the best. That's one of the best, man. Trayvon Martin's. Excuse me, Trayvon. Oh my God. I just said Trayvon Martin, dog. You know I'm tired. Shit. Trezon Jefferson. Cotto has the best chin. He was getting hit with hard cast material for multiple rounds and still was fighting in the fight with Margarito. Well, look, if you're talking all-time chins, then, you got to give me something like Larry Holmes, who I've literally seen got his head damn near knocked completely off his fucking shoulders by one of the biggest punchers in boxing history and got up. like, God, dog. But he got dropped. But anybody would have got dropped. So what do you call that? You know what I mean? Ali's chin is fucking bananas. The shots that he's taken. He had crazy chin. Rocky Marciano got a great chin. There's a lot of guys with great chins. But, we won't know if any of these guys now have great chins because they won't fight people of the caliber enough, to test their chin or not. But that's what I'm saying for Jaron Ennis. When he gets up in there, if he gets up in there with a Sean Porter, he's going to get that chin. He's going to get that chin tested, dog. He's going to get that chin tested, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jake LaMotta got beat up a lot, dog. Just monstrously beat the tar out of him. Mikey got knocked down by Martinez. Who? Rocky Martinez? Rocky Martinez down at what is that? 126? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of good chins in boxing, man. Ooh-wee. Wilder got a good chin too. He was taking a lot of punishment not to really get knocked out. As he dang sure took a lot of punishment. Really did. Yeah, Hagler got a great chin. All these people got great chins. So there's a lot of people with great chins, but we're not trying to do historical boxing today. Not historical. We talking about right now. And right now it's Jarron Hurd. Jarron Hurd is the cat with the chin. You can hit that dude flush, and he's going to walk through it and eat that shot and keep on coming most times. Sean Porter has no power. Sean Porter got enough power to keep people up off of him. Sean Porter got enough power to be a 2-time world champion. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Sean Porter does have a great chin, but he got yacked. What's going on, John Page? Yacked by Adrian Broner. Yacked by Errol Spence Jr. That shit came in sharp. Wow. But he got back up and he kept on rolling. He's super tough. Stay away from him right now. at this point in Jarron Hurd's career. And when Sean Porter, when they offer you that fight, when they offer you to fight with Jarron Hurd, with Jaron Ennis, tell them no. If that shit is a year out, tell them no. Do not fight that boy. I'm telling y'all now, if y'all too old, don't fight that boy. That is a monumental ass whooping coming. Okay? That boy is going to be putting some whoopings on some fools. For sure. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Stay away. I don't care what your manager tell you. I don't care what your pride tells you. Dog, 2 years from now, stay away. Because somebody's getting humiliated. Somebody is going to get busted up, dominated, and just made just a complete no. Not like no. No, don't do it. Don't do it. They're telling you that boy's big, and he's big. That's the thing. At 147, he's so big. He said 2 more years, he's going to be pound for pound. No, he will not drink more water. Boots will not be pound for pound in 2 more years. No, he will not. Because Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. will still be on the pound for pound list, which means Jaron Ennis cannot make that list, no matter how obvious it is right this second. Jaron Ennis is better than multiple dudes on that pound for pound list that they got up there. The fuck up out of here, dog. Get up out of here. That dude for real off talent might be there now. He might be there now. It's just a question of whether or not he's going to fight somebody to prove it or not. But straight up looking at him, dog, for real. If I didn't know, I'd be like, yeah, that I know that dude in front of him may not be necessarily the best fighter in that division, but the way that he whooped that boy's ass, the multitudes of this, the multifaceted ass whooping which was put upon Yee's head, I can see that duplicated, expanded. You remember Bob Sapp? Yeah, I remember Bob Sapp. He said glass jaw. Yeah. Bob Sapp, big ass dude, got laid out. He gonna be ducked over the next 2 years. Yeah, I'm just telling you for sure. Andre Berto, yeah. Fannon, he should be on there in a way. Let me tell you something, man. If anybody thinks that Monster Inoue is gonna be on the level of Jaron Ennis, dog, please go pick another sport, please. How dare thou? How dare thou put his name up there with that boy, man? How dareth you put your name up there with that boy, man, please. Trezon Jefferson. Look, man, I'm just going to be for real. Terence Crawford will whoop somebody's motherfucking ass, okay? I do believe that. So, while I am JoJo Diaz versus Gervonta Davis, dog, come on, man. JoJo Diaz? You mean the guy that just lost to Gary Russell Jr.? That guy? The guy that lost to Gary Russell Jr.? Not interested. Not interested, dog. Not interested. Gervonta Davis will stop JoJo Diaz probably inside of 7-8 rounds. JoJo Diaz is going to come at him. He's going to get caught. He's going to get knocked out. You know what I mean? People are really like banking that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be like missing weight. All of this conversation about Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, all of the either troll, yeah, it is what it is. But all this talk about Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, all of this stuff is centered directly around whether or not this guy can make weight or not. If he makes weight, dude, he's going to destroy. He's absolutely going to mop up Leo Santa Cruz. He's going to absolutely mop up Leo Santa Cruz. Oh, the young boy Fred interviewed last night gave us a skinny about Bud. He said people want Bud to be a fraud so bad. Yeah, man, let me tell you something. That dude is not a fraud. The dude is not a fraud, man. You might want him to be a fraud, but he's not a fraud. This dude can, I mean, you don't get through and do the things that he did and he's done with being a fraud. Like, you know, that's just a really big that would be a very big overreach. Because the only thing is that the fight's not being made. And no, he's not fighting top competition at 147 pounds. But there's a big difference between somebody being a fraud and somebody being a fraud and somebody being just somebody that's not fought the best in their division yet. You know, just trying to, you know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, you know? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Bud isn't a fraud. He needs to fight someone at 147, but fraud, no, absolutely not, man. I mean, when we're talking about these fighters, man, we just got to keep it straightforward. Like, it's nothing personal. I don't have anything personal against any of these fighters or whatever business decision that people make, you know, as a boxing fan. And I know that there's a lot of reasons that boxers, the fights don't happen. But at the end of the day, man, the fights didn't happen. So you don't get credit for shit that didn't happen. You know, it's you. So I don't have to, I'm not trying to doubt. I don't doubt Bud's ability or his desire to beat somebody, even though I will make fun of it sometimes because y'all be talking too much shit. So every once in a while, you know, you got to get out there and, you know, talk some shit with y'all. But I respect Bud Crawford. I respect him a lot. I think he's one of the greatest fighters. He's the best fighter in the world, man. I think he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. I got him off of my list right now because of the fact that he ain't fighting no damn body. But I think he's really a great fighter. And I wouldn't put, and I'm not going to go so far to say that that Jaron Ennis is going to beat him right now. You know, I think that's disrespectful to Terence Crawford. At that point in time, I would be being disrespectful to Terence Crawford. And I have no intention of being disrespectful to Terence Crawford. Jaron Ennis got to prove it. He's got to prove it against better people. You know, he's got to prove it against better people. And Jaron Ennis's weight class is higher than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford really should be celebrated as the tremendous talent that he is. You know, Bud Crawford's chin, it's good. It's good. I think he's got a good chin. It's carried him through to this. I mean, I can't say he's got a bad chin, you know, but he is susceptible to getting touched. And he doesn't have a granite chin, but I think he's got a good chin. Because I don't think I've seen him get wobbled a couple times, but I've never really seen him dropped, hurt. He ain't got to know. He doesn't have like an Amir Khan chin or anything like that. It's just that he's not, you know, if you catch him, you can catch him. It's not invincible. You know what I mean? Like Errol Spence got a chin because you've seen Errol Spence get hit. And he got wobbled, but he kept on coming forward, regathered himself. I've seen him get hit in the Kell Brook fight. I've seen him get hit in the Sean Porter fight. You know, he can take a shot. You know? So he ain't been exposed. He ain't been exposed. He ain't got chin. Now, I don't think the dude is. I mean, Terence Crawford has a chin. I'm not gonna say the dude is, but dog, if you can get wobbled knocked down, because he did get knocked down by Egis Kalvanakis, you can get knocked down by Errol Spence. That's where that comes into play. It just draws into question the idea of his invincibility. And if you think that Terence Crawford is invincible, then let me tell you, nah, dog, there's some things that can be taken advantage of, obviously, because he did get wobbled against two dudes. And if he fights against a bigger guy, gets a cleaner shot off, and is the type of guy that's going to go in there and know how to finish him off, yeah, man, that's a different ball of wax altogether. So, you know, You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater all the damn time. It's not all the way one way or the other way. It can be, there are situations where, two separate things can be true. Terence Crawford can be a beast because Terence Crawford's a beast, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. If I was from Omaha, Nebraska, that's what would be my stance. Look, man. All right, Bud ain't fighting nobody. But don't act like Bud can't whoop their ass now. Okay? Don't act like Bud can't whoop their ass. All right? No, the fights ain't happening, but it ain't because Bud can't whoop their ass now. Don't act like he's just running, like he's just hightailing it from Sean Porter because he don't think he can win against Sean Porter. I fully believe that Terence Crawford believes he can beat Sean Porter. I do believe he thinks he can beat Keith Thurman. All of that stuff, But still, you ain't fighting him. So it's just, I'm not going to allow myself to be put on one side of a fence like some bullshit. That's just bullshit. No, the dude can fight, dog. Damn, Wiz from this guy said, Bud is a great pump faker. Bud, the great pump faker. No, man, I don't think so, dog. I don't think that, dog. Let me see. That dude said, nah, for nine. He ain't calling out them guys at all. He wants no peace supporter. Now, that's true. That is true. But that doesn't mean he don't think he can beat him just because he ain't asking for it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I could be bodying motherfuckers right now if I wanted to. I could spend 2 hours body bagging niggas if I could. But if I felt like it right now, trust me, this whole day could be a motherfucking body bag session. But it's not going to be because I've decided I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So there are reasons why sometimes people that might get body bagged don't get body bagged. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's not because the body bag's not there to completely and utterly take advantage of, balling up, light on fire, and make fucking examples of people. But sometimes you just can't do that. You just sometimes, for the greater good of life and order, you can't do that. So you just keep it pushing and talk about other things. So Terence Crawford may want to whoop the shit out these dudes, man. He might really, really, really want to whoop the shit out these dudes, but he can't get the fight because he's got other things lined up. Maybe he's telling Sean Porter the truth, Change the topic? No, I ain't changing the topic. Why would I change the topic? I like this topic. I like this topic a lot. Big Dog Willie said, I love Spence, Crawford, Charlo, but please, young boxing fans, please stop claiming that these three could beat Hagler and Hearns. You lose all respect. Okay, Hagler and Hearns. Damn. Crawford against Hearns. Why? Why, Big Dog Willie? Let me see. Let's evaluate the statement, dog. I love Spence, Crawford, and Charlo. Said, I hear you, Fannon, but I even told Porter they'd fight one day, just not today. Yep. He did tell him that. All right, man. Hearns versus a Charlo. Jermell Charlo has a shot against Thomas Hearns. Jermall Charlo has a shot against Thomas Hearns. I would pick Thomas Hearns, but they've got a shot because he's got that chinny chin chin. He got that chinny chin chin problem, dog. And it ain't like Jermall Charlo can't touch that chin. Spence, I think, is too small for Hearns and too small for Hagler, though. However, the Charlos with Hagler and Hearns, dog, there's a shot. Come on, Fannon, really? Yeah, there's a shot because Thomas Hearns got a fucking chin. He's got a glass jaw. He got a glass jaw. What's his name? Didn't Iran Barkley knock him out cold? Come on, man. Iran Barkley. Somebody remind me who it was that knocked Thomas, the Hitman Hearns, out cold. Was that Iran Barkley that knocked him out cold? Okay, if he can get knocked out cold by Iran Barkley, who I think that was, I think it was that, then he can get knocked out cold by Jermall Charlo. Yes, he can. Hagler, on the other hand, that's a different beast altogether. That's a different beast altogether. Oh, yeah, and Hagler knocked Hearns the fuck out. Zuzi snoozed him. Okay? Now, when I'm telling you that he got knocked out by Sugar Ray too at 147. He got the chinny chin problem. See, if you were to ask me if Floyd Mayweather Jr. could beat Hearns, I'd be like, nah, because he's not going to touch his chin. I don't think he's going to get his chin. And he's going to eat them jabs. He's going to be eating them jabs. Or, having to deal with the jabs. I won't say he'll eat the jabs, but he'll have to deal with the jabs. The size disparity between the two is monstrous. Tommy Hearns is like my height, if not a little taller. But it might have been like his hat or something. He did have a hat on, but he's just tall. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Iran Barkley slept Hearns, man. So can't tell me for sure that Jermell and Jamal can't. Those dudes can fight. You know what I mean? Hagler, I don't know about that. Said no for nine. That come on really wasn't about Charlie and Hearn. My bad. I don't know. I'm just going with the conversation. If you're a victim of my misinterpretation, I apologize. I hate that fight. Much love in that super chat to my man E. Flim. Thank you for holding down the chat this moment. Stop talking about fights that will never happen. No. Get out of the channel. Stop telling me to stop talking about fights that will or may not happen. If I don't talk about fights that I don't think will ever happen, I will never talk about boxing. God dog. What are you going to do? Most fights don't ever fucking happen. Terence Crawford, if I had to put a percentage chance on Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. happening, I would say 40% that it happens, 60% that it doesn't. 40-60% that it never happens. Okay. And why would I say that? Because number one, Errol Spence Jr. has to go through a gauntlet of motherfuckers to get there. Okay. Like seriously tough competition. He's got a serious fight coming up with Danny Garcia. Dog, that's about as tough a fight as you can have at welterweight. And then after that, he has another fight with Sean Porter, which is just about the toughest fight that you can have in welterweight. And then after that, he may get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, maybe, which is one of the harder fights that you can have at welterweight. Then he would then have to fight Terence Crawford. So you see all those fights he'd have to get through even to get there. That's why I'm saying it's 50-50 at best. Because Errol's I give him a 70-30 advantage over all those guys. 70-30 over Danny Garcia, 70-30 over Sean Porter, maybe 60-40 over Sean Porter considering the last fight, 70-30 over Manny Pacquiao. Still, every fight, there's a 30% chance you can crap out. Okay? So the more 30% chances there are that you can that you can crash out, your betting odds tell you, dog, it's getting closer and closer. You know what I'm saying? It's getting closer and closer. So I got to add that into it. Then Terence Crawford's got to get through his fights, which, again, it may be 90-10 every fight or 99-5. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get through his fights. You know what I mean? But what about a rematch? You know what I'm saying? Or you just don't know. So how can I ever talk about boxing if I can't talk about fights that somebody think may not happen? You know that the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight is iffy, and there's a rematch clause. How many articles have you heard about people talking about, he needs to fight Anthony Joshua? Man, I don't even do the UK. I've completely cut that fucking UK conversations out of my whole lexicon. I'm done. I'm making up words. I'm so sick of that UK shit. But damn, how many years are talking about a fight that ain't never going to happen? Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Were we never supposed to talk about it the whole time? I don't think that is doable. John Page in the building. But Kell Brook, though, look, man, here's my thing, Batman. Much respect to the great Batman in the Gary Russell Jr. camp. Kell Brook is like the least acceptable. It's the least acceptable fight for Terence Crawford for me. I think it's acceptable. I'll take it because he is a good fighter. He could theoretically have a throwback night, right? And if there's something shady about Terence Crawford, there might just be enough in the tank for Kell Brook to, to be able to test it. You know what I mean? I think he's a better fight than everybody he has fought at 140 so far. And he's probably the best competition since at least Victor Postol for Terence Crawford. So, you know what I mean? However, it's the least acceptable. It's not Sean Porter. It's not Danny Garcia. It's not Keith Thurman. It's damn sure not Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. It's not Jaron Ennis. It's not Virgil Ortiz. So at a certain, to a certain extent, it's not what I want to see, but I have to give the man his credit for doing something that is better than I expected. Because I'm telling you, I expect if that shit don't go through for it to be Igis Kalvanakis rematch. Because these dudes are in the middle of a pandemic, and who else are they going to get to fight? You know what I mean? So there you go. Yes, sir. But Kell Brook, though, yeah, I got it kind of the same expression that you have. Like, I don't know, dog. I don't know. Matthew Valentine, that super chat. Bud doesn't want to fight the elite. I think he wants to fight the elite. I just don't think Bud wants to fight anything but the elite. See what I mean, Matthew Valentine? Because I do believe he will take a Manny Pacquiao fight. You know what I mean, Matthew? Wouldn't you say that he would take a Manny Pacquiao fight? If they offered if Terence Crawford was offered $1.5 million and a percentage of the pay-per-view, he would take the Manny Pacquiao fight. He would take a lower price to get the Manny Pacquiao fight if that was his only option. Because if he beats Manny Pacquiao, then it's a wrap. That bullshit line, niggas trying to get over on you, that line. Oh, if you beat me, then you'll be on the next level. No, dog, we talking about the business opportunity that's in front of us right now. However, you see what I'm saying? He would take that fight. If Errol Spence Jr., I think he would take the Errol Spence Jr. fight right now. Even though he said, that he wouldn't, like, don't fight me now because I don't want the excuse. I just think he might have been trying to dig him. I think Terence was trying to dig, Terence Crawford. I don't like to refer him by people to that casually when I don't actually know him, because I don't actually know the dude. But I think he would take those fights. I don't think he wants to fight anybody that's not elite. Because I don't think Sean Porter right now, Sean Porter's elite. He's elite, but he's not like belt holding elite because he lost to Errol Spence, right? Just what it is. I don't think he wants to fight Danny Garcia because he's not, top level elite, because he lost to Sean Porter and lost to Keith Thurman. Doesn't want to fight Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman has already lost to Manny Pacquiao. So he's not, it doesn't seem like he's willing to fight the guys that, that the other elite fighters have already fought. You know what I mean? But then again, he might be willing to do it, but can ESPN afford to do it? Would Al Heyman be interested in making the fight? Would Bob Arum be interested in making the fight? That stuff kind of, that stuff comes into play. But I don't think it's a fact. I don't think it's the fact that Bud doesn't want to fight, or he doesn't want to fight elite fighters. I think, again, saying the same thing multiple times, that he doesn't want to fight that level just below elite because he sees himself as elite. But it doesn't make sense to people, to the casual viewer like myself, because, dude, you're about to fight people that ain't elite. Whoever you fighting right now is not elite. There's no way we're gonna wake up tomorrow morning and they'll be like, wow, he's fighting this guy. We're not gonna wake up to Terence Crawford's fighting Ugas, right? We don't have any worry about whether or not we're gonna wake up tomorrow and hear that announcement made out of Terence Crawford's camp. It's not gonna happen. What we're gonna hear is, oh, the Kell Brook fight was signed. He gave Kell an extra $500,000, or he fought Igis Kalvanakis in the rematch because people thought he got knocked down. So this will be a way to clean that up, or nobody else's, whatever excuse that they make for making a fight like that. Vita, vive tu vida. Much love in that super chat. Thank you so much for the support. T-Mac says, I think Pretty Boy would have spanked Hearns. Pretty Boy never fought at welterweight. TMC. No. Pretty Boy. Money Mayweather fought at 147. I think, when did he become Money Mayweather? Did he become Money Mayweather after Hatton? So Pretty Boy was 130 and 135 and a little bit of 140. Money Mayweather was 140, 147. So no, Pretty Boy would have never fought Hearns. Money would have had to fight Hearns. And Money is a little welterweight, little itty bitty welterweight. And Thomas Hearns is a huge one-punch knockout style welterweight that can box. From the same state, too. So, very familiar with the style. You know what I mean? Both from Michigan. Get it out of here, dog. They're going to know exactly what to do. Emmanuel Stewart will know exactly what to do with that, dog. I don't see that happening, man. I don't see that happening at all. That would be a great local fight, like a great Michigan fight. One of the best Michigan fights that could be made. But nah, homie. Not against Tommy the Hitman Hearns, dog. He's too big. Too big. How many times you misspell your name on a contract? My name, never. Other people's titles, I've gotten titles wrong. I've gotten titles wrong, but no, the name, the name's got to be spelled correctly. You're devilish. You shall not get me into this. Much love in the super chat, though. You're bad, dog. You're bad. Shame on you, dog, for that. Shame on you, dog, for that. Young characters I had to for 9. Yeah, dog. Leave me alone with that shit, man. All right, leave me alone with that. Shit. Don't do that to me, dog. Said Jupiter B came with the shits, dog. Trying to start some shit, dog. No. Let me see. Next question. Oh, hey, Fannon. Bud just turned down the clue. Oh, man. Erickson Lubin. What do I think about Erickson Lubin? That he would be the best fighter in the world right now. If he was signed with Top Rank, he would be the shit, is what I think. I think Erickson Lubin needs to sign to Golden Boy. Or he needs to sign with Golden Boy or DAZN so he can get a shot at Teixeira. That's what he need to do, dog. Because he can get that WBO belt. He's got to go the WBO route. Go the WBO route, you got it. Or wait for Jermell to go up. Because he can be the WBO champ, dog. He'll beat Teixeira. Bud ducking Teixeira, bro. No, he ain't, dog. No, he ain't, man. No, he ain't. Oh, my God, man. Hey, Fannon. Why do you hate Floyd Mayweather Jr.? I do not hate Floyd Mayweather Jr. I have never met the man. Ever. So I have no hate in my heart for him, dog, at all. That is the answer to that question. Thank you very much. Ugh. Skipping other questions. Let me tell you here right now. If you're waiting to hear my thoughts on the Haney-Gary Russell Jr. term sheet, you can let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord splits you and get out. Okay? Let me explain to you right now what I have to say about that term sheet shit. Okay? You guys ready? Shut the fuck up about it, because none of you know what the fuck you're talking about, and you don't pay me enough money to explain it to you. Okay? I'm sitting here listening to people who have no fucking idea what they're talking about at all, talking about a fucking term sheet. Stop talking about a term sheet. You sound like fucking idiots. And I am not about to take my good time and explain that shit to you. Okay? Not gonna do it. For the people that I gave a fuck about knowing, I've already told. Okay? I've already told it. So if you think you coming around these parts to start some dumb shit with me today, you are not going to succeed. Okay? Because if I explained it, you motherfuckers wouldn't understand it anyway. You wouldn't understand it anyway. You don't know what a term sheet is. You don't know. Okay? I don't care. You don't know what it is. Everybody that has talked about it. Oh my God. He said, we just had somebody on Barbershop break it down last night. Join the LDBC. He covered this week. I feel you, dude. Yes. Look, man, just stop talking about the shit. Okay? Just stop. It's not worth it. Guess what? You don't need to worry about a motherfucking term sheet. What you need to worry about is motherfucking calendar. The 7th is 2 weeks away. The fight's not happening. Why do you care about a term sheet that don't mean shit? It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. The fight is 2 weeks away. Devin Haney has a November 7th date. Who cares? Who cares is the answer about the term sheet. Who cares? What does it have to do with the price of tea in China at this point? Nothing. Nothing. So why are you debating shit that doesn't even matter? Some shit that is gone. Some shit that doesn't apply to the situation we're in today. The fact of the matter is, dude, Devin Haney got to fight, dog, in 6 weeks, homie. Excuse me, 6 weeks, whatever it is. Not 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks. Not 2. What fuck, nigga, 6 weeks. It's 2 weeks into the 8. That's what I meant. It's 2 weeks into his 8-week training camp. Okay? Gone. Goodbye. Nigga, nobody asked you to stay here for, Claire. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Here, but let me explain it to you. All right, I made a mistake. It's not in 2 weeks. Because I was looking out at the date of the fight, and I thought, wow, we're 2 weeks into this 8-week training camp. So Devin's November 7th is when is the fight supposed to be again? What's the date of the fight? It's 6 weeks out. November 7th. That's what it is. November 7th. 6 weeks out. How are you going to make a fight that quick? You can't. That's the only thing that mattered. Okay? It's the only thing that November 7th, less than 8 weeks there. There you go. That's all that matters. It's not enough time. Devin Haney is going to be fighting Yuriokas Gamboa. It is impossible. Exact. He's going to be fighting Yuriokas Gamboa. So why do I care about a term sheet? Somebody wake me up and explain this to me before I explain to you the difference between a term sheet and a fight contract with an option, with a fight contract with the contingent upon the acceptance of a third party. You guys going to really understand that? Just really. You think you understand the difference between a term sheet and a fight contract that is contingent upon the acceptance of a third party? You want me to go into some hour discussion about the difference between those two things? We almost got him there, family. Keep pressing, chat. You're not going to get me there. You're not going to get me there because I don't want to go there. I don't care. The fight, hey, look, till somebody proves me differently, the fight's not going to happen. So who gives a shit? but you're going to try to push me, but you're not going to make it. Okay. Devils, you guys are the devil. Y'all are the devil. Y'all are the devil, dog. You the devil. No, you're not getting that shit out of me, homie. Because it don't matter, dog. It don't matter. The fight's not popping off. Okay? So wherever people want to lay the blame for the duck, go ahead and lay the blame wherever you want to lay the blame. Okay? I don't give ne'er a shit. Okay? Blame Gary, blame Bill, blame Al, blame Floyd, blame me, blame whoever you want to blame. Blame anybody. Okay? Blame anybody. It don't matter, dog, at this point in time. Okay? Because Devin Haney got a fight November 7th, and I'm going to tune in and pay for it. Okay? I'm going to watch it. All right? I'm going to be excited for a Yuriorkis Gamboa fight with Devin Haney. I don't mind it at all. I'm looking forward to starting to cover a fight between Gary Russell Jr. and Javier Fortuna. Okay? Because that, my friends, is what we're going to get. Okay? So anything above and beyond that, dog, it's just talking at this point. It's just talking. And who can prove who's right about what? But as far as that, all that term sheet talk, dog, y'all don't know what you're talking about. You just don't. You just don't know. So stop. It's like you're talking about brain surgery. Nigga, stop. You have never, ever held a drill and opened nobody's head up. Stop. What are we talking about? Well, I don't know if that's really a tumor or whether. Look at the shadow on the x-ray. Do you go looking at motherfuckers' x-rays and argue about whether or not where the shadow is? No, you do not. Okay, you know why? Because you're not a motherfucking radiologist. That's why you don't do that. So do not go read that piece of paper and start fucking talking about it like you know how to read it. You don't know how to read it. Not near one of you motherfuckers know how to read it. Not near one of you know how to read it. Okay? You be surprised, dog. Look, not nobody that let me not be confused. Let me be clear. Okay. I know that there are people in this chat that can read it. I know that. Without a doubt, there are people that could read that. It just isn't any of the people that are talking about it. How about that? Oh, I know Drew was on point because I explained it to Drew because I wasn't going to explain it to nobody else. I don't want to talk about it because it doesn't matter because the fight's not going to happen. Okay? It's not. It's not going to happen. No. I can read it. I went to private school. Look, just Fauclair, stop talking about it. Man, dog, look, Fauclair, stop giving me advice about my blood pressure, dog, okay? If you don't want me to talk loud, put it in the fucking super chat, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to keep motherfucking going, okay? But y'all don't think that I'm not going to go on the subject matter of it because it's ridiculous, dog. It's ridiculous to be talking about it. He's Marcus O'Hara said, yes, I am. I'm a radiologist. No, I'm not. Exactly. You just stop. You know, if there's somebody that looked at it and read it, I know what they would say because it's obvious it's obvious right there. But also, you got on no. Oops, you almost got me, Junior the Truth. You almost got me, Junior the Truth. Junior the Truth is the devil. You almost got me, you motherfucker. Ooh, Junior the Truth almost got me. God dog it, man. See, that's why you got to stop when Junior the Truth comes in the row. No. You're the devil, and I know it. No, what describes the situation is a fight contract with contingent upon the approval of third parties. That's the answer to it, okay? That's the answer to the whole conversation, okay? And if you know what that means, then you know what the opinion is. If you don't know what that means, don't talk, okay? How about this? If I said I would not define that as a term sheet, I would define that as a fight contract with an option with a contingent upon the approval of a third party. Now, would anybody like to explain to me what that means? If you cannot explain what I just said in this sentence right there, then you should not be talking at all about a term sheet. You shouldn't be talking at all about it. You should just shut up and just say, he's ducking. Cap. Duck, cap, duck, cap. Stick to duck, cap, duck, cap. Just stick to duck, cap, duck, cap, duck, cap. Leave the situation alone. Okay? Leave the situation alone. Respect to the Haney family. Hey, man, whoop Yuriokas Gamboa's ass. I wish you nothing but the best in that fight. Gary Russell Jr., be careful with that Javier Fortuna. He's a very dirty fighter. And then, if the fight comes around where they both win and Gary Russell Jr. becomes the mandatory, then we'll begin this process all over again. But there will be no need for term sheets. There will be no need for anything else because it will be a mandated fight by the WBC because the WBC sees that there's interest in this fight. So I just think that we need to start being a little bit more realistic about what is going on with the possibility of that fight being made. Oh my God. Nah, dog. I'm not taking any callers or anything of that shit. So I would agree that there is little or no difference, but the problem with your example is that certain essential terms were presumably missing from the contract, subject to contingency. Bible English, stop. That is not the fucking problem. No, it is not. Like, that's what I'm saying. Just stop. Okay? Stop. Just stop. You are so far away from the shit. It's not even funny. Just stop. You don't understand. This right here tells me you have no clue what a term sheet is. You just don't understand it. So why are you asking about it? I don't want a body today. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I'm not going in. It's no disrespect because you're not supposed to understand it. That's not what you do, but you don't understand that at all. There's necessarily going to be essential things missing from a term sheet. It's a fucking term sheet. It's not supposed to have all the essentials in there. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to have preliminary terms that you agreed upon. That's what's supposed to be in there. It's just a blueprint for a contract. That's all it is. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You just don't know. And explaining it to you, dude, is you just don't understand. Said, I applaud you putting this unique perspective out amongst all the backlash from these other channels. Look, man, I appreciate that, Chris Evans. Bill English, man, let me help you with something, okay? You are saying that there is essential things missing from something. You're assuming that that means essential things were supposed to be in there. They're not. They're not supposed to be there. And the more things you put there, the more things there are to negotiate. You don't understand the purpose of a term sheet. Fundamentally, you do not understand it. I know you don't understand it because of the question that you asked. It's not supposed to be there. The only thing that is supposed to be there is what you agreed upon. That's it. That's it. The terms you discussed and agreed upon. That's it. You don't know what you're talking about. So leave it alone. You're just adding confusion to the situation. You just don't get it. You don't understand. Fundamentally, you don't understand. I can tell you sitting here right now, you don't understand that. You don't understand. And the people that have talked about this, nobody even understands what the major issue is with it. Like, you guys keep talking about shit and you don't even understand what the major issue is. And I'm not going to give it to you, but you don't understand. So what good is it? I'd have to explain to you for a half an hour. You don't understand. And so my only rebuttal to the whole thing is you guys don't understand. You're speaking French. You think you're speaking French. You don't speak French. You don't understand. Don't. So stop. The more you talk, the more I know you don't understand. And I would be following behind you, trying to explain to you boatloads of information that you just don't understand. You don't deal in this. I can tell you what the lawyer's issue would be if he read it, because that's what I'm reading it as. You don't read it as that. Fauclair, get the fuck out of my chat, dog. Fuck out. Nigga, you ain't my mama, okay? Fuck out. You do not give a shit about my blood pressure, nigga. You don't know what my blood pressure is. Fuck out of here, man. Stop trolling, go away. Okay? But you guys don't speak French, so stop trying to speak French. How about that? If I'm from New York, I can't talk to you about Brooklyn. I sound like an idiot. And you can't explain it to me with a Wikipedia search. I'm not going to get the essence of Brooklyn from a Wikipedia search. It's just not going to work. You guys will not understand it. I contemplated whether I should explain it to you or not, but then I paused and I thought, no, they won't understand. They just won't understand. So why try? But stop talking about it. You don't know. You don't understand. Okay? But here's the key. Or let me ask you, what should happen if somebody violates a term sheet and walks away from a term sheet and just says, fuck it, I don't want to do anything? I'll give you this much. Some of us will, Fannon. I'll give you this much. And this is no disrespect to either parties. Yeah, get the fuck out. I mean, I don't want to hear shit. But dog, what? Yeah, drink more water means it should be nothing. Right? It should be nothing. It's just a term sheet. That's all it is. Young the Merman, nothing should happen if you violate a term sheet because it's not legally binding. It shouldn't be legally binding. That's the difference between a term sheet and a contract. One is legally binding typically. A term sheet is not legally binding. A full-fledged agreement or a contract, the way you guys like to refer to it, that's legally binding. It's not supposed to be legally binding. There are things, though, within a term sheet that could be legally binding, like a confidentiality clause. And then you'll have a survival clause, right? You'll say, we both agree that we're not going to share this information with anybody else, but we're not going to be liable if this information is readily available in the public, or if we're asked to, as a result of a court issuing us an order to provide the information, we have to give them the information. So you'll have that in a confidentiality clause. And a confidentiality clause can survive for like 2 years or up into a certain date, or it can go forever. And then you have to define what it is that is specifically what's going to be held in confidence. Those would be the things in a term sheet that would be remain and would be legally binding. And what would be the remedy for it? It would be that money damages are not enough. You're allowing a court to issue an injunction to stop sharing or talking about the information. That's the only thing in a term sheet only reason I can see a term sheet, anything in a term sheet being legally binding, or maybe a non-compete. You agree that any information that this fight that you will not compete for this specific date or something like that, but that should be the only thing that is legally binding in a term sheet. So that's what I'm saying, dude. So I give you that amount of information to tell you what the difference is between a term sheet and a fight contract. Right? But would you understand that if you don't deal with them? No, you will not. You probably don't understand what I just explained now. And if you wanted to walk away and go talk about it, you would have to come back and listen to this conversation again, or go find somebody else to explain it to you, because you don't deal in that work. And there's no shame into it, but just stop talking about it because you don't understand it. I mean, and you don't understand multiple things. I mean, because I read it. I understand what it is. I understand everything about it. But I'm going to tell you, you guys do not fundamentally do not understand what you're talking about. You just don't. You know what I mean? So anyway, what's next? Slim Cleaver said, who do you think wins between Ennis and Ugas? An interesting fight to me, Ennis. I take Ennis over Ugas right now. I think Ennis's pressure is going to work against him on Ugas. I think Ugas has the advantages on the outside. And I think Ennis is too big for Ugas. That's the problem with Ennis in a lot of these welterweights. He's so big, man. He's just so big that's just, it's tough, man. If you sign the term sheet, it's legally binding. No, it is not. Technically, no, it is not. Sabrina Macklin. The only way, first of all, let me help you dumbasses, okay? I can't help, but I can't help. Steve J said, I missed your super chat, man, my bad. I'm about to light into Sabrina for a second, though. Steve King P said, salute for 9, just showing love from ATL. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you so much. You are creating a false dispute. You confirm. Shut up, nigga. You don't know what I said. Shut up, dummy. You don't know what I said. Straight up. Hey, put that back. The super chat that I missed. Put that in the front so I don't have to find it. I'll look for it, dude. But look, dummy. No, they don't. Term sheets are not usually do a fucking Wikipedia search, you dumbass. Fuck. How about that? How about I do it in a way that I just point you to it and you can go somewhere and shut the fuck up. Go look up term sheets legally binding. And any fucking article you'll show will say no, because that defeats the purpose. The purpose of a term sheet is to get to a full-fledged negotiation. That's the purpose of a term sheet. It's not supposed to be binding. It's just supposed to gather your information and the things that you think might be stopping points. Might be. That's it. That's all it is. Okay? Making a term sheet legally binding, dummy, defeats the whole fucking purpose of a term sheet. It defeats the whole purpose. You don't understand what it's used for. Why would I want somebody to sign a term sheet with me? Just so I know that we are in a serious negotiation and we have agreed upon a couple basic principles. However, once you get into full-fledged negotiation, even those things on the term sheets can change. Because you've now gotten to the point where you have a full-fledged negotiation. That's a term sheet. You guys don't know what it is. I introduced the idea to you. Okay, I introduced the idea of the term sheet, me, into this whole discussion. So stop. You don't know what it is. And there's nothing wrong with what either party did. Okay? But you all, only people fucking up is y'all talking about it because you don't know and you sound stupid. If I was talking, it's like me trying to have a conversation with somebody about snooker. I don't know the rules. How can I tell you if somebody cheated in snooker when I don't know the rules? I don't know the rules. Okay? You can't. You are just ignorant. And it's okay to be ignorant. It's okay to be ignorant. It's okay to be ignorant of things, certain things. I'm ignorant on a lot of things as it relates to the inside of the boxing ring and your footwork and your positioning and who has the best footwork. That's okay because I've not been in a ring with world-class trainers telling me how to do that shit. Okay? But if I had a boxing channel where I try to convince people that I did understand that and I didn't understand that, people would think I was phony right away. So I don't try to do that. I suggest that you guys stop talking about shit that you don't fucking understand at all. At all. Not even at the most basic level do you understand it because you don't even understand what an agreement is. You couldn't tell me what a contract is. If I asked you to write it down, you couldn't give me a succinct and accurate definition. You certainly don't know the theories that exist behind it. Huh? Go away. Who's letting it go? Nigga, please. I'm doing a great job of this, okay? I did a great job of talking about this issue. I thought it was terrific. Hey, English. You got one more comment. Benefit of the bargain demonstrates parties signed term sheet, negotiated in good faith, and would have consummated a definite agreement. You're talking about damages, dumbass. Why are you talking about damages? Are you fucking a moron? Nigga, stop. Get out of my chat. Get out. Get out. Get out. Just get out. Boxing's back. Let's go back to boxing. Just get out. Ennis is the WBO's prospect. Ugas is WBA. And Ortiz is WBA mandatory. Boots should be in his WBA title eliminator next. Then he becomes a WBO mandatory to Bud. Man, that shit would be absolutely awesome. I would love that. Yeah, oh my God. Yes, sir. No, dude, you just don't understand how silly that is. That's related to damages. That's a specific type of damages. You don't even get into that conversation until you have an executed term sheet but the terms, like, do you have any understanding that in order to have damages, you have to have some type of off consideration exchanged? Like, you are so fucking far gone off the subject matter, dude. Like, you shut up. I'm not going to cook them, dog. I'm not going to cook them because seriously, man, that is damages. Okay. That's an issue of damages. That is not an issue about of what a term sheet is. You're just saying that a term sheet is evidence that somebody wanted to enter an agreement. If at some point in time, there's not a written agreement and then there's damages that are asked for. Okay. That's when you talk about that. Yes, a term sheet could be shown to show intent, but not by itself will it be legally binding unless it says legally binding. That's just evidence of intent if you're trying to prove that there's a contract that existed. But your fucking dumbass doesn't understand that, so you keep fucking talking to me, and I can't help it because I hate stupid people, so I keep talking to you. I'm a sucker for stupid people. Fuck. Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. You are not a lawyer. You are not, you don't know, you don't understand where that comes into place. Okay? That is a damages issue. Okay? And that's when somebody's arguing that there was not a valid contract. So they had to show intent to enter into a contract. But you also would have to show that there is some type of exchange of consideration between the two, and that the terms were breached before you get to what damages can be awarded. It's just you don't know what you're talking about. You just don't understand. You fundamentally do not understand. None of you, except for the people that do understand. But this is not complex, but it is contract law. So stop. You don't know this. You can't read the book. People make livings doing this. Okay? And whoever it was that read that term sheet, I guarantee you, I know what they thought as soon as they read it. I would have redlined that. I would redline. I know what it is. You don't know what it is. So just leave it alone. Thank you, man. You say you need a show on ESPN. They need somebody like you. Boxing needed. Man, look, man. Sometimes cats just need not to talk about shit that they don't understand. And I'm not going to talk about it, dude. Go to like Boxing Esquire. Okay? If you want to understand, there's a guy named Boxing Esquire that writes an article, right? He's a boxing manager out of New York. He's a lawyer out of New York. He represents. If you want to understand, go to him. Okay? Ask him what he thinks. He's in that business and he gets paid to do that. He can tell you what exactly is industry standard and what is not industry standard. Okay? I don't know. I don't know what is a common term. I do know what I do know, though. Okay? I do know what I do know. And what I do know is you motherfuckers do not know what you're talking about. But go to a subject matter expert. I just told you who it is. Go harass Boxing Esquire. He has a great podcast. I think he writes, he's associated with Ring Magazine or something. But excellent dude. I go to listen to his podcast because his area of, I don't know what the connection between his legal practices and his managerial situation, even though it's probably paying the bills. But that's a guy that could break that down for you very, very well. You niggas do not pay me to do that. So I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? No. Motherfuckers going to be mad at me. They're going to be mad at me for some shit that I get some value out of dealing with. But you dummies need to stop talking about it because you just don't understand and you look bad. You making black folk look bad talking about it. Straight up. Look, if I'm Al Heyman, I'm sitting there listening to you like, man, that's why I told you not to listen to these Negroes. I told you. These motherfuckers run around with they like chickens with their fucking head cut off and don't understand jack shit about what's going on. If I was Al Heyman, that's what I would think. I would be like, oh, no, yeah, what the fuck you talking about? Y'all just bumping your motherfucking lips. You don't even understand this shit. Amateur hour at the fucking Apollo, dog. Stop the shit, man. If they're going to make the fight, I draw up term sheets before, but I'm not a lawyer, so I never preach to a legal expert on the matter. Dude, just read you draw up your term sheets. Just look to see whether or not it has something that says that it's legally binding. Because if it's legally binding, dude, then you got to negotiate everything in it to the T. So once a term sheet becomes legally binding, from my perspective, there's no distinction between that and a contract because you intend to be bound by it. And then it can be executed in counterparts because then you can add addendums to the agreement that you've already signed. So if you do that for me, I don't see any distinction, professionally speaking. I don't see any distinction between a contract, a term sheet that is legally binding, and a fully executable contract. If it's legally binding, there's no functional difference between the two. Because it's no longer a blueprint for an agreement. It's just an agreement. But you don't understand that because you don't understand the relationship between the document and you don't understand what headings are. Just because you call something doesn't mean that that's what it is. That's how people get over on, and I'm not saying that this is the situation here because I don't think it is. As a matter of fact, let me affirmatively tell you, I don't think that it is. But you should always have somebody review your stuff. Always. And they're going to see a lot of things that you don't see. And that's a good thing. Because every word matters. Every word matters. Ohio runs boxing. Man, Ohio, no, I'm sorry. That's not it. Said one more thing for him to whine about. Oh, that's not me. Y'all going off about with each other about stuff. All right, somebody asked me some boxing shit. Sabrina Macklin says you're not going to do it because you can't do it. Can't do what, Sabrina Macklin? If you were saying I can't explain this to you, yes, I can. But you're not, you'd have to pay me. This shit's not, I mean, what do you think this is around this joint? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think this is? I can explain every bit of it to you. Go have somebody listen. Just go find an attorney and have them listen to what I said, and ask them if I'm telling you the truth or not. That's not difficult. There's plenty around. Easy. I've said a lot of shit, and I have never had anybody come back at me ever, not once, because I'm giving you generally high level understanding of particular issues. I'm not giving you one specific to jurisdictions. I'm not giving you one specific to, specific, industries. I'm giving you a basic high level understanding of it and working from there. And there's nothing that you're going to hear is incorrect about that. People are not going to sign term sheets that are legally binding. Or if they do, you're pretty much just entering into a contractual negotiation. That's it. That's what you're doing. You can call it what you want to do it, but a rose by any other name is still a rose. But you guys don't understand that. So it's like, whatever, man. It's on you. Much love for these super chats. Ohio runs boxing in that super chat. Much love in that super chat, man. Hit me with some boxing questions so I can stop boring people. People don't want to talk about this shit no more, man, too. Let me get straight to y'all. People don't want to talk about this shit no more. There's some, what's going on, Anthony Hernandez, man? So much love. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Yeah, and this whole conversation is getting old as shit. Said Fannon, the other boxing chats are stating you are wrong. That's where the decafs are getting their information from. They repeat your statements. Look, man, here, other boxing chats are stating that I'm wrong. Fuck them. They don't know what they're talking about. Who are these boxing chats? And what makes them an expert? And what have I said that was wrong as well? They're not saying I'm wrong because I've not made any statement about anything related to that term sheet. So how can anybody be saying that I'm wrong about anything? Think about that. I know that's hard for people. It might be hard for people to get their head around. I have never said anything about the term sheet. So how can I be wrong? Can anybody tell me a question that I've answered about Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney's term sheet? Anybody want to tell me when I've said anything about it? In my opinion about it? I've never given my opinion on it. So how can somebody say that I'm wrong about an opinion I never gave? If anybody said that I was wrong, it's in anticipation with me just disagreeing with somebody for the sake of disagreeing with them. When Fannon brought up the potential connection with their beloved Floyd, they lost it. Yeah, that's what that is. They insinuated that you were wrong. They were afraid to come straight at you like cowards. Look, man, I can't be wrong if I have not made a statement about it. I haven't. You just have to believe that you know what I think about it. But I haven't shared it. I haven't. I don't want to share it. What's good, Rashid Muhammad? I don't want to share my opinion, and I'll be very straightforward with it. I don't want to share my opinion because 78 Sports TV and a lot of guys in the LDBC are just trying to let the issue go away. So I'm not trying to share my opinion because I want the issue to go away. That's been what people in the LDBC have been trying to do. They've been trying to let the issue go away and let these guys work it out for themselves. So I've not given my opinion on it. I've not given my opinion. I saw the videos about Gary Russell. I saw videos that says something about a term sheet and proof of the term sheet and shit like that. But I never made a video about the term sheet. I didn't make a video before the video. Before I saw those videos, I didn't make a video after I saw those videos. I haven't even given a reaction to those videos. So how can somebody say that I gave that I'm wrong about something that I never said? No, dude, see this it's bullshit people like you right here. Yeah, I said Floyd was holding the fight back. Yes, I did. What does that got to do with the term sheet? You don't know. It has nothing to do with the term sheet. I explained why I thought Floyd was holding the fight back. And I never mentioned the term sheet. So you're just some troll talking, bumping your lips. You dummy, you think I'm stupid is what y'all think I am. You think I'm dumb and reactionary. I'm not. Either one of those. I'm not dumb and I'm not reactionary. The fight is not going to get made. It's 6 weeks out. Why do I care about a term sheet? You're just talking about a term sheet to get views and try to hustle up some back and forth. Oh, Fannon says this. No, Fannon don't give a fuck what you say. Fannon say, fucking, I don't care. I don't think the fight's going to get made. There's only 6 weeks left. So why is Fannon says, why waste your time talking about it? Is Fannon's response. But you guys think that I'm just going to respond to any stupid video you make? I don't give a fuck about you. You're not going to make a video and bait me into some 15 video long debate with you motherfuckers. It's not going to work. I don't care. I don't want to vibe off you. I don't want to have, internet debates. Nigga, you can't debate me on this. You don't understand it. You just don't. John Fabro said, I respect your opinion, and I was talking about Floyd Mayweather issue. Thanks, Jonathan Fambro. I appreciate you. But I just want to let know y'all niggas think y'all know people trying to put me in a sucker position. And I'm not going to be put in a sucker position. That fight's not going to happen. That's what I said. And if you don't think that it's Floyd Mayweather Jr. that did it, cool. It's Al Heyman that did it. Don't make a difference to me. I think it's the PBC that didn't want that fight. I've said that. My position has not changed. Y'all might have got y'all little feelings, but you might have got butt hurt because y'all came at me sideways with some silly points that got just bushed because it wasn't enough, right? I have to say Gary Russell Jr. is ducking. Nothing's good enough if I don't say Gary Russell Jr. is ducking. And I'm not going to say that. But I'm also not going to say that Devin Haney is ducking. And I'm also not going to make Devin Haney look bad based on my opinion of what I think about that fight contract with the contingency which was contingent upon the acceptance of Matchroom, the WBC, and DAZN. Just because I would phrase it different, But no, dude, you're not gonna bait me into your childish ass discussions. You don't understand the contract anyway. And if I sat around debating you, people might start firing me. People would be like, damn, Fannon, I was paying you to do this shit, but you out here arguing with people that don't know shit. Maybe I need to find somebody real to do business with. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you talking to idiots? I'd be like, you're right. I don't know. I just got this thing. Can't control myself. I talk to idiots, you know, like the idiot whisperer. Just what it is. I can't help myself. You know? Leave me alone, man. Thoughts on rumored Ruiz Areola fight? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Andy Ruiz and Chris Areola would be a very, very bloody fight and very entertaining fight in the lead up. But what I would like more than the Andy Ruiz Chris Areola fight is the Luis Ortiz. Andy Ruiz fight. Ruiz Ortiz is much better than that. So, anybody else think that they're going to get me into a dumb argument? Idiots get underneath my skin as well. My weakness. Yeah, it is tough, man, because it's like, you know. Patrick Finley said, Fannon, you should check out the philosopher John Rawls. I think you would really enjoy reading him. Now back to boxing. I'll check him out. Thank you. For sure. Yeah, that's what I would really like to see. Oh, why do people disrespect the knowledge of what somebody does for a living, their craft? I don't know. I mean, look, man, if anybody disagreed with my take on that term sheet, they couldn't disagree with what I said because I never gave my opinion. Still haven't given my opinion. So that tells you right there. Somebody's arguing with somebody that's not even made a point. How can you argue with that? That's a red herring. It's a red herring. I taught you guys what that is, right? You guys know what a red herring is? A red herring is putting an argument in the mouth of somebody else, right? And then arguing against a position that they never took. That's what they're doing. If anybody made a video or made a statement about me or implied something about me and what I think about that term sheet, they are using a red herring on you. They're conning you because I never gave my opinion. So how can you respond to it? So when they told you what my opinion was, because they have to give you my opinion in order to tell you that I'm wrong, right? So they have to give you their opinion of what I said. They have to be lying about what I said. So that's a red herring. Like, it's ridiculous. Fannon, Thurman versus Crawford makes a lot of sense to me. Winner faces Boots. Yeah, but you're not going to get it. It makes a lot of sense to you, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think it's going to make a lot of sense to the PBC. I don't think that is going to make a lot of sense to the PBC. Because there really is a chance that most likely that Terence Crawford will win that fight against Keith Thurman. And I don't know what type of incentive Al Heyman would have to throw in Keith Thurman to the wolves for nothing coming back. You know, like if there was say, he thought that he could have Thurman fight Crawford and then Crawford was going to fight like 5 or 6 different PBC guys, that maybe he'd be willing to do that, knowing that he would get the revenue from the fights down the road. But I can't see him doing that unless that's the case. And for Keith Thurman, he's got enough PBC fights with different welterweights that he can make where he just doesn't need Terence Crawford. So, for the people that are all butthurt about me saying it was Floyd Mayweather Jr., because I tried to leave Al Heyman out of it. But hey, okay, if I'm so wrong about it being Floyd, then it's Al Heyman that doesn't want the fight. Okay? So now I got to think, okay, Al Heyman. Would Al Heyman want to make a fight with Keith Thurman and Crawford? Why would he want to? Right? He's somebody that is a Harvard MBA. He's an MBA. So he understands that you make money over the long haul, right? And you're going to have more than one opportunity to gain revenue over the lifetime of a product. So Keith Thurman, he has the ability to make at least 3 legitimate fights that could be on pay-per-view without going over to fighting anybody on ESPN. So I'm not quite sure why he would make that fight, you know? But the winner face Boots, see, I think more than likely they could do, and even Boots, like, I don't know if Boots is signed by the PBC. I know that he's signed by Cameron Duncan, the manager for the former manager for Terence Crawford. So I don't know, man. I don't think anybody's really going to be jumping for Boots too quick, you know? Patrick Finley, hey, Fannon, why do you think the art of infighting isn't being taught anymore? I think it's because the people complain about it on TV. I think the major hurdle to infighting, biggest problem with infighting is that it's not TV friendly, and people can easily mistake it for holding, right, or being dirty. So they want the more exciting TV friendly punches, like a straight, like the jab, the long right. They're looking for things that you can see and can be shown well on a 2-dimensional screen, right, from multiple angles. So I think that the biggest problem with infighting is television and the way that the fights are judged, right? Because it's just harder to see it. Now, also during the time when infighting was really more prevalent, the judging of the fights was done by the referee. So when you have a neutral referee and the referee is judging the fight, the referee can really see a lot of the shots that are going on the inside, like shots to the diaphragm, shots that might be to the heart. If the referee is right there, he can see that. He'll have a better, because his angle can keep changing and he's close. He can see a lot of those things that the judges just can't see. So when I think that there's a certain amount of that was lost when they shifted from referees judging the fight to having a fight that was refereed by 3 judges, or judged by 3 judges and not judged by the referee. That's what I would think it, man. Coach Randall said they want the flashy stuff, not the technical stuff on TV. Right, there you go, Coach Randall. I think that's probably the root of it. Said Al gets paid if they fight, not talk. Al gets paid, yeah. But he gets paid off of the lifetime of a fighter. He doesn't get, or at least the way that he would look at it is looking at it, over the lifetime of the fighter. So if I was looking at a fighter and how to move a fighter and maximize my profit off of any resource, you would look at the lifetime of the fighter and say, okay, how many competitive years does he have in him? How many fights does he have left in him? So at a certain point in time, you start realizing that, a fighter is getting, down towards the end of his career and he only has a certain amount of fights left, right? Or you can look at the appeal of a fighter and say, okay, he's got a championship belt, but what is the likelihood of him really growing in popularity and really me making a lot of money off fights with that particular fighter based on his style and things like that? I think that there's a lot of moving parts in that decision-making process for managers, for advisors, for promoters. So it's really tough looking at it from the outside in, if that helps. Yeah, people coming to conclusion with half the facts. Yeah. But for the sake of going back and people arguing with people about this, I'm just not going to do it, man. I'm not going to do it. They already have a fight and said it. Even that. What's going on, man? Curtis Anderson in the building. He said trainers like Wiley, Blackburn, Arcel are all gone nowadays. These trainers are not that good. Well, there was a really good quote that came. I don't want to be putting people in trouble, but man, there's a lot of people that they think that they don't really know how to give fighters the adjustments that they need to make in fighting. There's a lot of trainers that they complain about the level of training, but it makes sense because there's a lot less fighters. If you have less fighters that are fighting, and that means you have that fewer people that are learning the trick of the trade, that many that you fewer people that are learning the tricks of the trade mean that you have a fewer number of people that are going to be excellent trainers. I mean, I think that the consistency and the number of fights that those old school fighters have are very underrated, right? Like people just act like a guy with 168 fights and 170 fights and even guys with 90 fights and 70 fights, that over time that they don't really learn a lot of the tricks of the trade. And then when they go in and they become trainers, I mean, they've literally seen all kind of different styles. They might have seen the style, coming from a southpaw stance and not an orthodox stance, or seen it from a fight that wasn't as good an athlete, or might have seen the style from an athlete, a much superior athlete, right? And know how to teach people and prepare for that. But the fewer people, now we're down to where professional athletes, boxers, if they really have a very long career in terms of fighting, in terms of number of fights, right? In terms of number of fights, a long career is like 40 fights. 40 fights, you start, it's like, man, you've had a long career. Unless you're like a Canelo Alvarez who had a lot of fights, whose amateur career was a lot of pro fights. So, that's my take on it. All right, man, let me get some questions, man. And then, as this has been a good thing. I stayed safe. Did I stay safe today? Can y'all put in the comment section? I could have I could have a very, exciting live stream today, but I was trying to avoid any and all smoke that could continue this debate and nonsensical stuff that's going on. So was I safe enough? Somebody give me a one and let me know if I was able to avoid more drama, but yet give you just enough where I addressed the issue and I did not duck it. How many fights till Boots gets a title shot? 4 or 5. 4 or 5, I would think. 1, I cleared it. I need to know, man, because I was trying to be as right down the middle as I can. And at the same time, hey, Fannon, yeah, it looked like you tried to keep from blowing up. Oh, dog, because, I can be baited, dog. I can be baited, Fannon said, this is Steve J, said, Fannon, who should Jermell next voluntary defense be against? If he gets past J-Rock, his next one is coming up this weekend, I think, right? So that's his next one. His next voluntary is against Jason Rosario. But after that, I would love it to be Teixeira, but that's like too much like right. It's not going to be Teixeira. Nimbo Slice said they will create drama regardless. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but Broderick said safe 1. I pulled it off. I think I pulled it off. It was tough. It's tough listening to people know. But did I also get across that people don't know what the fuck they talking about? Like I couldn't go through the jugular. I didn't do my jugular act. You know what I mean? It wasn't no bloodletting like would be my natural inclination. You know what I mean? Like to really go for it. But it's still, I just want to let you know, dog, come on, man. I didn't give my opinion about that shit at all. I never gave my opinion to anybody about that. Nate the Great said, Ennis versus Antoine Russell as pros. Who you got? I don't know. I got to look at Antoine Russell more. I got to leave that alone. I got to look at Gary Antoine Russell. I got to look and see. I haven't seen enough. And I've seen him fight once. I've only seen him fight once. So, and he looked very, very good when I saw him fight. So I got to do a style matchup with him. I'm going to stay away from that too. Teixeira, we're with Lumen at 154, decently. Not the world beater. But look, man, Jupiter B, Fannon offers his theories every day and you have no issue agreeing. But as soon as he offers his theory on something that doesn't paint Bud in negative light, you want to dismiss it? You wild guy. Ah! Hey, man, that's part of it, dog. It's part of it. If he don't agree with me, he don't agree with me. I might be on some bullshit. That's all right. I might be on some bullshit with it. It's possible. You know what I mean? That's why you gotta have your own opinion, man. I try to give you the facts and then I give you my opinion. However, I will tell you with that term sheet shit, dog, stop talking about it because y'all so far away from understanding it that it's just not worth having a discussion. You don't speak French. Don't try to. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it would be. Have you ever gotten somebody from another country that wrote something to you in English and it didn't make any sense whatsoever, but you knew that that's more than likely because, hey, man, get the likes to 500, man. Hit the likes. I got to get out of here, though. So it's not going to get to likes today. Follow the logic, not the man. Yes, sir. Anyway, it is what it is. Much love. Oh, Patrick, I got a Bison question for you. Why do you think? I got that already. I answered that. All right. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. And with that, I'm out. Peace.